and women. Their service is greatly appreciated. I applaud you. I'd like to take a little bit of time this morning to discuss the Armed Services and its veterans. The Armed Services is the largest branch of the government. The number of active duty and reservists serving in support of operations in Afghanistan and Iraq have grown from 5,200 in 2002 to nearly 188,000 in 2008. Over recent years, we have been in a drawdown within the region, but the patriotism, valor, and efforts of these men and women cannot be overstated. Ladies and gentlemen, veterans, cadets, I asked you to take away today 3 things from this speech. 1, service members are warriors for life. The Armed Services is committed to lifelong success of our service members, and you, the community, is always needed and cherished by our great heroes. First, our veterans are warriors for life. During their careers and their lives, they continue to improve their skills, ensuring they remain strong for themselves, their families, their communities, and their nation. But one day, soldiers like myself will remove this uniform. No amount of time nor experiences can sever the unlimited relationships uniting veterans in a unique and everlasting bond. This uniform has changed many times in the last 237 years. What hasn't changed has been the determination and spiritual strength of the men and women willing to serve this nation, past, present, and future. As we near the conclusion of combat operations in Afghanistan, the military will get smaller. All services will reduce in size commensurate with the needs of the nation. This reminds us of the conclusion of World War II, when 15.7 million veterans returned home, many fearing the possibility of not having a job when they returned. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Servicemen's Readjustment Act, which we refer to today as the GI Bill. This amazing legislation led to the construction of facilities for veterans, authorized unemployment compensation, offered job placement for vets, and provided up to 4 years of educational training. More than half the veterans use these educational benefits. In fact, 3 years after it was passed, veterans made up 49% of all college admissions. The public rallied around veterans, and employers were eager to hire them upon graduation and their vocational training. Veterans became a very important part of the community and our country. The GI Bill has led to 14 Nobel laureates, 24 Pulitzer Prize winners, 3 Supreme Court justices, 3 U.S. presidents, and other high-profile business and community leaders. The list of names include venture capitalist Eugene Clymer, who helped create Amazon.com, and surgeon and astronaut Story Musgrave. Also the likes of Johnny Carson, Harry Belafonte, and retired Senator Bob Dole. Once a service member for life. Second, the military is committed to lifelong success of the veterans and their families by connecting them with opportunities for employment, education, and health care after military service. Since the attacks on September 11, 2001, almost 3 million Americans, men and women, have served our nation calls to arms, to serve their nation and do their job. Now, after 11 years of war, more than 1.3 million servicemen and women who deployed overseas have returned to our communities. But still, more than 720,000 veterans of all generations are still unemployed. The number is getting better, but we still have a long way to go. Veterans deserve the opportunity to use the skills, knowledge, and leadership and experiences they gained during the time in the military. Our president is leading the charge. Early this year, he signed the Vow to Hire Heroes Act, giving tax credits to businesses that hire unemployed or disabled veterans. The military is working with the Departments of Defense, Labor, and Veterans Administration and local communities to transition and reintegrate veterans into civilian life. Our soldiers, veterans, and families have given so much. It is our sacred duty to maintain their trust and faith and remind them they will always remain the strength of this nation. When people join the Army or the military, they join a special team, a unique and honored family. When they train, they do not train alone. When they deploy, they have a battle buddy, a squad, platoon, or so on. Everything we do is a team and for the team. In fact, service members spend a very little time alone. Our soldiers, our veterans, should never have to struggle alone. Finally, we can't do this alone. Supporting our military veterans requires a team approach from government, civic organizations, and local communities. Just as the nation rallied around troops in time of war, we must rally around the veterans in time of peace. Our Veterans Day, Remembrance Day, Armistice, or Day of Peace, a day with many names, the world stops in silence to pay tribute to the heroes of the battlefield, who never see themselves as heroes. President Kennedy once said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget. The highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." When we think of how much the veterans and their families have done for this nation, how do we honor their sacrifice? How do we celebrate their service? Ceremonies and events such as today is a start. Our military veterans are strong and resilient, creative and determined. I am confident this generation will join the remarkable generations of men and women who have worn the uniform and left an enduring mark on this nation. To those who have given the ultimate sacrifice, I pray for everlasting peace. To those who have worn the service uniform, raise their hand and promise to defend this country and protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, I salute you. Thank you.